All right. Happy Thursday, happy Thursday. What a day, man. Another dedication to Chadwick Boseman. This workout today, got a good one in, some long mileage, nice and humid up here, just like I like it. We sporting these 2UAs, heat gear, external, internal thermogenic. We get it down, folks. I'm gonna put something on your mind. I don't want to deal with this. I'm gonna put something on your mind. And it's a question. And I've been trying to analyze this for a long time. And I talked to several different people, whether it's on my friend list or just every day, with older people, people my age. And I asked a question, as black folk, why come we don't want to be led by leaders? And we got to find some way, somehow, to answer this, because we have a problem. We having a loving problem, we having a family problem, and we have a spiritual problem amongst us black folk. I know some of us, we head out to the church house before this pandemic. But even the folks that's in the church house has some issues with leaders and leadership. Somehow, let me deal with this. Somehow, when you sign the dotted line, the contract, the new covenant with the Messiah, you give over your rights. Somebody say amen when you can. You give over your rights. You don't have any more rights. Now you're up under a leadership. Hello. Whether it's a preacher, whether it's elders. Hello. He always dealt with order, unity. Because oh man, this is so simple. In a home, a husband and a wife, not two men, not two women, how he set this thing up. If there's a discord amongst the husband, the wife can always go to the minister, or she can always go to the elder and say, hey, look, we got a problem. We need to sit down. We need to solve this thing. You're going to your leaders that's over the flock. Leaders are set up designed to protect the flock like a shepherd. This is pretty simple, folk. But for some strange reason, we forget that. If the man have an issue with his wife, and she's doing some things contrary against the Almighty, he doesn't sit down, they don't try to have a talk. We need to go talk to the minister. We need to go talk to the elders. We need to resolve our problem. But we have a problem with this. And the problem is, this is what you hear most time. He just a man. He put his pants on just like I do. He got his problems like everybody else. They got their problem like everybody else. How they gonna tell somebody something? And when you start talking like that, you talking against the master. Because he the one that set it up. That's why we have a bunch of issues and problems out here in our homes. And even amongst the church house. We don't trust our leaders. And I'm gonna tell you something. Every leader ain't a leader. The book says that to try the spirit of the man. You can't have a minister, a bunch of elders running around here chasing women inside the church. No, that ain't no. And then if you stand there, you part of the problem. You supposed to pack your little stuff up and come. Cause we ain't following a man. We following the book. Again, this is what we're gonna be judged by. You can't sit somewhere and be led wrong and think, oh well, he's a good guy and everything. And folks, God is not like that. He's a forgiving God, but he's not passive. He's direct. Hello. Again, we all have fallen short of the glory of the word. And we got to get back, and we go back through the Messiah. I asked again why we have a problem with these leaders. And it shows inside the family. I'm talking about the black folk. This is getting to be a problem. Some of our black women don't want to be led by spiritual men. Where they come from? See, when you have discord and chaos and confusion, guess where they come from? the demon back here. And guess who see that? Anybody possessing the spirit, they can see that. They can see the division, demonic, this racism, this divide, this hate. That's demonic. You can't throw God into that. I asked the question again to prick your brain. Why we have problem with following leaders? Again, some of our black women, we don't want leaders in our home. We don't want a man to be the leader. He has to be the leader. Why? He set it up that way. And if there's a man inside the home and a woman is running him, the man gonna have to answer to him. Hey boy, go back all the way back to Adam and Eve. Why you let this woman run you? Woman, why you running this man? Well, he don't know how to do that. So what was the purpose of getting married to this man? So you can run him? If any man is weak, he gets in his word and he gets stronger. That's what makes you stronger. Not a lot of sex. Not a lot of children strung everywhere. Not a lot of women that you may have. That don't make you no leader. They don't make you have strength. Only the word can give you strength. And definitely not no money. Hello. So sometimes our women, we're looking at a pretty face. Then we're looking for sexual anatomy stuff. But we missing out on the spirit. And then when we get locked in, then we find ourselves fighting it amongst one another. We're not giving over. What I mean not giving over? We're not letting that man take lead. That's why it is written not to be unequally yoked. What does that mean, Clay Brooks? When you have your oxen, it's a wooden oak that goes across their necks. And you take me, I'm 6'4". And we can do it like this with a man. You get a 6'2" man next to me, we pair up, we team up, and we got a yoke. I'm gonna have to get down to his height so the yoke can be straight across. It can't be like that and we walking like that's unequal. This is equal. So I'm 6'4", this man's 6'2", so I gotta get down so it can be equally yoked. But now look, while I'm down, guess what I'm in? I'm in a strain. I'm in a tight. My back is gonna start hurting. My knees is gonna start hurting. My thighs gonna start burning. I'm unequally yoked, but I'm trying to keep it straight by getting down. No, you pair yourself up. When you put the yoke on, you can pull the weight evenly. Folks, this is what happens when we don't have leaders in our home. Our leaders are supposed to be opening this book, breaking off this bread. We use this book and we put it in the oven. We get whatever that oven come out. When it come out, we breaking that bread off. We get a wife some, we get a children some. Joshua said this great. He said, for me and my house, that means anything that I'm running over here. My wife, my children, the boys, the girls, even the dog, the cat. We will. Ain't no we might or perhaps. We will serve the Almighty, the I am. And that's where we done fell off at. We done got by ourselves. We done forgot about him. Now we're in a bad situation. The pandemic done hit. All this death is around us. Some of us don't even want to put a mask on. How many more people have to die for? I mean, who are we believing in? Are we believing in the demon? Some of us in the matrix and not thinking this is real? Oh, it's fake, it's a hoax. But folks are dying. Some of you done had friends close to you, family members done died of this COVID. Hello? Some of you have been around all this death where you seeing tractor trailer, refrigerator trucks lined up and bodies are inside, not no dummies. Human beings, families, fathers, mothers, aunties, uncles, granddaddies, grandmamas, sisters, brothers, children, grandchildren. The man and woman next door, a teacher, the first responder, somebody is laying in that refrigerated because they can't have a funeral. Why? This thing wasn't shut down like it's supposed to be. And some of us, like I said, we're going to find out who the real niggas out here. The unlearned, the dummies, the stupid, the ones that don't want to follow science and logic and medical science, following hatred and malice. stupidity. Look up the word. It ain't got nothing to do with no color. But we want it to do, though. All this brain power up here, we don't want to be led by good leaders. Our black men don't want to be leaders. It's hard to be a leader when you dibbling dabbling in homosexuality. I think I like a man. I think that's demonic. That's not through him. You can't say you love him and you practice some demonic stuff. 40-minute video I made 2 days ago. You get this caught on your body. When you die, when you wake up, that's going to be on your body. They can't change that. That's how serious it is out here, folks. I look out here every single day and I see our black women struggling spiritually, malnourished, spiritually, no leader nowhere. What a man that we can't find. Why we have so many black women out here with children, no husband, no king nowhere? What's something wrong with that? But now we're saying Black Lives Matter. But we're not giving our children a chance to see a king inside the home. So the little young man can see what he's supposed to be like when he grows up, how he's supposed to treat mama. The young lady see how that young man is. See how he's treating mama. A 13-year-old told me when she was real young, I guess she was around about 7, she said, "Daddy, when I get older, I'm going to marry you." I said, "You going to do what?" "I'm going to marry you, Daddy." I said, "You mean you're going to marry a man like that?" "Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm going to marry a man like." So I dropped my head. I felt it. I was humbled. And I said to myself, and it's not all about me. It's about him. It's about what a sick man and 6 feet in the ground out there laying there dead. It's about a woman that's 71 years old, which is my mother. They put something in me, which is called love. And I had to pour it into my children. A lot of our children aren't getting love. So as she's growing up, she's able to gauge and see what type of man that she wants to be interested in. If it's not resembling Daddy, I'm not fooling with you. Especially with this language. Calling her out of her names, these vulgar names. She ain't got no business fooling with him. He's not walking with him. She's not gonna fool with him. And that's where our problem coming in at black women. We don't want nobody walking with him. We claim we do. We claim we want a good man. And then when a spiritual man come along, it's just too tough for us. That means we're going to have to raise up our game. That means we're going to have to come clean. That means some of this booty call action is going to have to stop out here. We're going to have to get serious. Let's put a post out there and say, when you get in a relationship, it calls responsibility. You know, you got to be responsible for a relationship. And some people just, it just takes a lot out of me to be in a relationship. But in the meantime, we're going to slip in and out of up under the cloak of darkness. Go get a little something and then come back on in. How long that's going to last, folks? Again, whether this virus is man-made or God-made, he is allowing it. And it's still here. And there's something greater coming, folks. But we're not ready. We're still out here killing one another. In every city, there's black on black crime. But we ain't talking about that. This pandemic is out here. We're sitting up here contemplating, am I going to send my child to school? So maybe it's like this. Maybe you want to send your child to school so they can die so you can collect on some insurance money. Is that what it is? Mine ain't going to school. I ain't got no problem with mine being at home. I love my children. I love them. I ain't got no problem being around them. We have a good time when we get together. You know why? Because there was love poured into me. And I'm pouring back love into them. We're taking the worst and making the best out of it. How did I do that? Through him, through this book that gives me strength and power. I have to come up with a plan. That's what leaders do. Leaders come up with a plan and break down how things are going to go. Wife, this is how we're going to do this right here. This is what we're going to do with the children right here. This is that. You set up a plan right here. This is what leaders do. How is it a man and woman that's married? I ain't just talking about anybody shacking up, talking about girlfriend, boyfriend garbage. That's in the house together. You get tired of one another because the virus is exposed. Who's been out there running around? You can't put your hands on a lot of people. You folks are sneaking and tricking and going on here, getting on airplanes, going in and out of the city, sleeping with Tom, Dick, and Harry. Sheila and Jenny and anybody else. Hello. Now we're around one another. Now we get to see the real folks. Now, man, come on, folks. A house is supposed to be full with love and unity. We ain't supposed to be at each other. We spending too much time together around one another. That's because you're not loving. Got a grandmama, got a 95, got a mama, 71. My mama always recite how my daddy treated her. Love that woman. She said, boy, you just like your daddy. My grandmama, again, 95. Husband been dead for a long time. And she said, I miss him. This man's in the grave. And she talking about, y'all ain't hearing this. Some of you young women don't even have a clue. I miss him. I said, I know, grandmama. She said, you don't understand. He spoiled me with some love. And this is what we're not doing as black men and leaders. We don't have black men to sit down and lay nothing out because there are no black men there. Bunch of women and children. So who gonna run and conquer the women and children if you're not strong with him, the demon? Then we start going to alternative lifestyle. Well, I done had about 2 or 3 years, 5 years, 6 years with a man. I'm gonna try to go and lay with this woman. He didn't tell you that. The demon did. And the demon don't have nowhere for you to go but one place. And he's not running that. And we fail to realize this, folks. This is what strong leaders are needed. A leader look at things and he plot down things. If we buying furniture, we buying a house, we buying a new car. Leaders sit down. Men sit down and you count the cost. The book said before you start building a house or a barn, you count the cost. And if you don't finish, people laugh at you because you done ran out of money and you can't finish it. That's what that means. A lot of our women are out here butt naked without a leader. What are we picking and choosing, women? We're so afraid of God's men. Places that we ought to be going, women out and men, husband and wives ought to be going, like on vacation and out of town. It's a bunch of group of black women going. That's a stand-in for a husband. That's a psychological problem right there, folks. You know what they come? That's come from the demon, and you don't have him. Oh, it's not no problem going and getting you and your girlfriends every now and then going somewhere. But every time you light out of town, it's a bunch of group of women. What you scared of? See, that's fear. And fear comes from the demon. That lets me know you don't have him. You're operating off the demon back here. But we instead of showing ourselves on social media, what are we attracting? Are we attracting the bass, the perches out here, the halibuts? Are we attracting that? The crappies, the tunas, the groupers? Are we just attracting some sharks, some catfish, some carp, some bottom feeders, some drums? What are we attracting out here? And then once we get a hold of it, now we sit up here with a long face, we mad and upset because we don't have a leader. A lot of our men running around here, you can't tell if they're a woman or a man, how they dress. But we say we some kings though. We have a problem, folks. We have a leadership problem. We have a young boys, 2 to 3 in the home, and there's no man there. How is it happening? Where's the man? And some of you women get mad because a man won't come take up with you and your children and somebody else's children. That ain't that man's fault. Yeah, if he love you, he'll take the children. But what were you thinking about? Your body is the last defense for pregnancy. And I'm gonna tell you what, it's 3%, probably lower than that, rape cases out here. We getting pregnant out here, folks. We consenting. We're laying down with anything. And then we don't have no leadership. We're wondering, our women are lost out here. I don't care how much money you're making. We're lost. I see it every day. We're lost out here. No direction. We're like a meteor, a comet. We're not a star. A star has position. It has a purpose. A meteor just shoots anywhere and everywhere. And it destroys what it hits. But we're saying Black Lives Matter. It's kind of hard to tell the difference sometimes, folks, because we're not treating ourselves right. We don't want to love ourselves. We get in relationships. Some of our women and men want to be communicated properly. That's a clean name instead of saying whores. We're in relationships for 5 years and the man ain't even come to the woman and say, hey, I want to marry you. I want you mine. We're going to play girlfriend and boyfriend. That's not a leader. That's a joker. How do you feel you're not being put up on a pedestal as a queen you're supposed to be? Y'all know I'm taking my time with this because we have a leadership problem. But we can do something about this, though. What we need to do is get back in the book and start standing. We need to get back with him and come off this universe stuff and these Egyptian and African ancestor garbage. They can't do nothing for us. There's no power in that. There's no. If it was, why are we not doing better? Why come we not together as a family? Why come we not loving? Why come we not getting married in this pandemic? Right through here, this pandemic is testing our faith, our strength, our fortitude, our leadership skills. Can we still serve and praise him in these times? Can we trust him? Can we move when he moves and stand still when he stands still? We're so busy to get back to this pathetic lifestyle that we were doing, which was garbage. And look how many people done died. 186,000 people, American people, on this soil dead. And there are going to be more to die. And we're not ready. Let us get back in this book. Let's find our place. Black women, quit saying this. Quit saying, and you 30-some years old, 33, 38, 40, homo. Quit saying, I got to find myself. Only people that operating with the demon says that. I don't care what kind of relationship you done been in hurt. How you find yourself is you find him. Every prophet has found him. They have found themselves. You ain't going to find yourself by yourself. You got to have the master who created you. He knows everything about you. And so does the demon, because he was there in the beginning. Oh, we should know this because it's in the book. Look, stay up out here, folks. I asked the question. Why do we have a problem with leaders and a leader? A spiritual leader that's leading us and a physical leader that's leading us in our homes. Our children need it. They're owed to it. They're due to it. Hey, stay up out here the next time.